snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys, so I am here today to continue with my gigantic book haul. This is part 2. I will put a link to part 1 down below. If you guys have not already watched that, then go watch that first, or watch it after this, it doesn't really matter. But there is another part to this massive book haul if you want to see it. So I'm just going to continue on from where I left off with the next stack of books that I have collected over the last month or so. Let's get started. The first one I'm going to show you guys is book number 2 in the Live Ship Traders by Robin Hobb. This edition is not the edition I wanted. It doesn't match the other books that I have, but I actually really like it, so I might keep it anyway and just keep my eyes peeled for the other edition as well. The colour of this is really, really pretty, so it's the second one in the Live Ship Traders. I just finished the first one about a week ago. Absolutely adored it, gave it 5 out of 5 stars, fantastic, best Robin Hobb book I've read so far, so I cannot wait to continue on the series with this one. And yeah, hopefully I'll get to this one at the end of this month or the start of July, because I'm really excited about it and I think the whole group that I'm buddy reading really enjoyed it, so hopefully we'll get to it really soon. Next I picked up a book that I think Anna from Geektard always recommends, and this is The Lord of Snow and Shadows, book number 1 of the Tears of Artaman by Sarah Ashe. I believe that she was the one who recommended this. I'd never heard of it before, but she said it was one of her favourite books of all time, and I think she's actually doing a reread of this series right now, so I'm really excited to give it a go and check out why she loves it so much. It says on the back, 3 kingdoms, 1 man, a destiny written in blood, an epic new fantasy series begins. That's all it says, but I'm really excited. I love epic fantasy, as you guys know. It's one of the genres that I read the most of. Absolutely adore it. There's a little owl on the front of this one which is super cute, and hopefully this will be a fantastic read, so I can't wait to check this out, and I believe it's part of a series, so that's always exciting. Next I have a book which is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, and that is Imajica by Clive Barker, and I didn't realise this was going to be almost as wide as it is tall. It's a pretty big one. It's over 1,100 pages, which is quite a lot, and I've never read any Clive Barker before, but hopefully I'll like him if I've got to be with him for 1,100 pages. Imajica, 5 dominions, 4 reconciled, the 5th is Earth, cut off, living in ignorance on the edge of the sea of possibilities, mystery and magic. Only a few know of Imajica, and the coming day when Earth will be reunited with the other dominions, and they are both terrified and in awe of the prospect. The moment of reconciliation is now approaching. For Gentle, Judith and Pyopa, it is a time of reckoning and revelation. They are driven to travel the path towards the city of Unbeheld. It is their destiny, whatever horrors or wonders that might hold. And Stephen King has given it a little quote which says, Clive Barker is so good I'm literally tongue-tied. So that's very promising. Hopefully I'll really love this, because it's a chunky one. But yeah, I don't know when I'm going to get to this, because it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. But that's always good, because I love big books. I just need to find the time for it. So hopefully I could maybe start this in the summer, otherwise it'll sit on my shelves for a bit, but I'll definitely get to it at some point. If you guys know anything about Clive Barker, then let me know, because it might inspire me to pick it up sooner. But yeah, hopefully I will really enjoy this when I get to it. Next I have the Ministry of Peculiar Occurrences novel, which is Phoenix Rising. I believe this is the first one, and this is by Pip Ballantine and T. Morris. This one's a little mass market paperback, and it's got a fairly badass looking lady on the front in a corset and suspenders and stuff like that, so pretty badass. She's also holding a gun, just as you do. Evil is most assuredly afoot, and Britain's fate rests in the hands of an alluring renegade and a librarian. These are dark days indeed in Victoria's England. Londoners are vanishing, then reappearing, washing up as corpses on the banks of the Thames, drained of blood and bone. Yet the Ministry of Peculiar Occurrences, the Crown's clandestine organisation whose bailiwick is the strange and unsettling, will not allow its agents to investigate. Fearless and exceedingly lovely Eliza de Braun, however, with her bulletproof corset and disturbing fondness for dynamite, refuses to let the matter rest, and she's prepared to drag her timorous new partner, Wellington Books, along with her into the perilous fray. I'm guessing that that's her on the front cover, but yeah, she does look pretty badass, and a bulletproof corset sounds like a must-have in Victorian England, I think. Sounds fantastic. So again, another Victorian England one. I'm obviously really focused on Victorian England when I ordered these books, but yeah, Really, really excited to give this a go. I think it's a kind of steampunk-esque novel because it does have little goggles and that sort of Victorian look and time. So hopefully it will be a lot of fun and I can't wait to give it a go. Then I picked up a book that was recommended by James from Eagles Books, who again I'll put a link to below. This is The Darkness That Comes Before and it's by R. Scott Bakker. Didn't know anything about this, but I'd seen it in the bookshops before, and James was reading it from Eagles Books, and he, I think, is on the third one right now. Pretty sure he really enjoyed this series, and he kind of compared it to Malazan in a way, but he said it was a little better structured than Malazan, I think, so really interested in giving it a go and comparing the two series. I don't know if the concept is anything alike. It says on the back, a score of centuries has passed since the first apocalypse, and the thoughts of men have turned inevitably to more worldly concerns. A veteran sorcerer and a spy seeks news of an ancient enemy, a military genius plots to conquer the known world for his emperor, but dreams of the throne for himself. The spiritual leader of the Thousand Temples seeks a holy war to cleanse the land of infidel. An exiled barbarian chieftain seeks vengeance against the man who disgraced him, and into this world steps a man like no other, seeking to blind all, man and woman, emperor and slave, to his own mysterious ends. Sounds very interesting, sounds very dark, sounds pretty cool, and I hope that I will really enjoy this when I get to it. So you can check out Eagle's review if you want to, because he has done a review that sold it to me and made me pick it up, so he might do the same to you, who knows. Next I have Geist, a book of the Order, which is by Philippa Ballantine, so I think this is the same as Pip Ballantine, who writes the Phoenix Rising books, but maybe I'm wrong, that could be a complete lie, so let me know. This one says, between the living and the dead, the Order of the Deacons, protectors of the Empire, guardians against possession, sentinels enlisted to ward off malevolent hauntings by Geists. Among the most powerful of the Order is Saoirse Faris, now thrust into a partnership with the novice Deacon Merrick Chambers. They have been dispatched to the isolated village of Ulrich to aid a priory besieged by a surge of violent Geist activity. So this one's quite short. I reckon I could get through this one fairly quickly, because it's only a mass market paperback. It's got a lion on the front, which is pretty intriguing. Kind of Narnia vibe going on, but I don't think it'll be like Narnia, but who knows. Then I picked up this one because of Brock from Let's Read. He always has these on his shelves behind him, and I'm pretty sure that they're some of his favourite books. So this is Otherland Volume 1, which is The City of Golden Shadow, and this is by Tad Williams, whom I've not checked out yet, even though I feel super bad for not. So I have this one now. It's a pretty big one, but that's always good. Your world is about to change. Otherland, shrouded in secrecy, is home to the wildest dreams and darkest nightmares. Vast amounts of money have been lavished on it. The best minds of 2 generations have laboured to build it, and somehow, bit by bit, it is claiming Earth's most valuable resource, its children. So it sounds really, really cool. Again, it's a yellow book. I'm pretty interested in getting these yellow books recently, it seems. It's got a kind of holographic cover, and then on that there's a city, and it looks really, really beautiful and really interesting with very tall spires and steeples, so I'm very excited to give this a go. I know that Brock really enjoys the series, so I'm hoping that I will too, and yeah, I can't wait to give it a try. Then I picked this one up because of Mercedes at Mercy's Bookish Musings, and that is Dragons, The Myths, Legends and Lore by Doug Niles and Margaret Weiss. She actually, I think, had the Mermaids one, maybe, of these, but basically it's a whole series of these very cool, nice little hardback books that talk about certain mythological beasts and the myths and legends and the lore surrounding them. So this one is Dragons. It does have deckled edges. Inside, as you guys can see, there are all of these different illustrations of different dragons. It talks about different areas of the world. It's got little, like, parchmenty things photoshopped in and stuff. So it looks really, really cute and really sweet, and I think this will be one that I just dip in and out of as and when I feel like it, because it's not really a fiction book, it's more of a non-fiction sort of recounting of the dragons around the world and the myths and stuff, but it sounds super cool. I do love dragons, so learning more of the ancestry of dragons and where it came from and the myths and things, it sounds really, really exciting, and I can't wait to give this one a try. And then the next few books are Joe from Final Blow Joe's channel, his fault, because he showed off I think 1 or maybe 2 of these books in the Fantasy Masterworks series by Galanx, and I really wanted them. They looked so beautiful that I wanted to get some for myself, so I picked up a few. I have picked up 5 of the Fantasy Masterworks books because they look so beautiful together, as you guys can see. They just look awesome. So I'm going to show you guys them. So the first one that I picked up is Lucia Shepard's The Dragon Grial. I'm not sure how you say it. This one has a dragon illustration on it. That was enough to sell me on this book. Dragons are definitely something I am a bit obsessed with, but this illustration is absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. It was by J.O. Oliveira, and it's absolutely stunning, so I love it. I'm guessing this has dragons in it. Lucius Shepard's acclaimed Dragon Griel stories are presented here for the first time in a single volume. This Fantasy Masterworks edition contains The Man Who Painted the Dragon Griel, The Scale Hunter's Beautiful Daughter, The Father of Stones, Liar's House, The Tarabin Scale, and The Skull. This is a definitive tale of the Dragon Griel, a beast so immense its body forms part of the landscape. So I don't know if these are kids' stories or if they're adult stories, but I'm very excited to give it a go. I like the fact that it's a bind-up, which means that hopefully it won't take me too long to get through because they'll all be fairly short. And dragons. What more do you need? So that's the first one of the Fantasy Masterworks that I got. The next one I picked up is Tim Powers' Last Call, which I don't know an awful lot about, but I've heard Tim Powers' name mentioned a couple times. 20 years ago, Scott Crane abandoned his career as a professional poker player and went into hiding after a weird high-stakes game played with tarot cards. But now the cards and the supernatural powers behind them have found him again. Crane's father killed gangster Bugsy Siegel in 1948 to become the Fisher King, and to keep that power he is determined to kill his son. Now Scott Crane must take up the cards again for one last poker duel, and the stakes are the highest he's ever played for, his soul. I love the cover illustration again. The colours that they use on these are just beautiful. This illustration is by A.T., whoever that is. This one sounds really, really cool. Tarot cards is, again, something I'm really interested in. In the Malazan Book of the Fallen series, they have these kind of tarot card things called the Deck of Dragons, which really interest me every time it comes up. So I'm interested to see Tim Powers' take, and I know that Tim Powers is a pretty big name, so hopefully I'll really enjoy it. Next, I picked up the same one that Joe actually got, which is John Crowley's Little Big. I love the illustration on the front. It's a load of houses sort of in this circular pattern. I don't know why, but it sounds amazing. The illustration of this one was by Lauren Mortimer, and it says on the back, Edgeworld is many houses all put inside each other or across each other. It's filled with and surrounded by mystery and enchantment. The further in you go, the bigger it gets. Smoky Barnacle, who has fallen in love with Daily Alice Drinkwater, comes to the Edgewood, her family house, where he finds himself drawn into a world of magical strangeness. Crowley's work has special alchemy, mixing the world we know with an imagined world which seems more true and more real. Little Big is eloquent, sensual, funny, and unforgettable. A true fantasy masterwork. So, sounds awesome, looks really cool, can't wait. And then I have two more fantasy masterworks, and I might have to actually split this into 3 parts, so I think I'm going to do that. So these 2 will be the last 2 I show you in this video, and then I will do part 3. This one is Robert Holdstock's Mythago Wood. I'm pretty sure I've heard someone talk about this, but I can't remember who it was. Again, it's the Fantasy Masterworks edition. This one has a really, really beautiful tonal illustration, whereas the others have all been black and white. And this one is by iamgs.com. I don't know, but it looks stunning. Oh, there's an introduction by Neil Gaiman as well. Very cool. But yeah, deep within the Wildwood lies a place of myth and mystery from which few return, and of those few, none remain unchanged. Stephen Huxley has already lost his father to the mysteries of Briarhop Wood. On his return from the Second World War, he finds his brother Christopher is also enthralled to a mysterious Wildwood, wherein lies a realm where magic archetypes grow flesh and blood, where love and beauty haunt your dreams, and in the promises of freedom lies the sanctuary of insanity. I don't think these would sound very nice, but I'm very excited to give this a try and find out what it is all about and exactly why it's a fantasy masterwork, because all of these are supposed to be pretty awesome and pretty epic, so I hope that I really enjoy them all. And then the last one, which is the smallest of them all, is Avram Davidson's The Phoenix and the Mirror. And this one says on the back that it was by Mark Oliver, the front cover design, which is kind of like a phoenix, I think, made out of cogs and all sorts of little bits and bobs, drawings and hands and strange weird things, but it looks really cool. Legend has it that Virgil, author of the Aeneid, was more than a mere poet. Legend has it that he was an adventurer, an alchemist, a magus. Driven to do the bidding of Queen Cornelia of Cassius, who has taken hostage part of his soul, Virgil embarks upon an attempt to create a virgin speculum, a magic mirror, so that Cornelia can locate her kidnapped daughter. Virgil's quest to assemble this artifact takes him across the ancient world to encounter powers and prophecies, gods and monsters. all the myths and legends of the time that never was, the time of Virgil Majors. Sounds really cool. I can't wait to give these ones a go, so hopefully it will be awesome. This one's pretty short, so I might get to that one sooner. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on any of the books that I've mentioned. I have an awful lot of books here, as you guys have probably realised, and I've got a whole stack more to do, so I'm going to do that in another video. Thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts on any of the ones I've mentioned. If there are any that stand out to you that you really want me to read sooner, please do tell me in the comments. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all very, very soon in another video. Bye! Me and you gonna have a little chat about the